Influence, psychology and persuasion. All boils down to one thing really, asking questions. Do you ask enough? Hey everyone, Mike Sweet here from mikesweet.co.uk, giving you the edge in life and business with psychology and NLP. Now, today's show is all about asking questions. Because if you want to master influence, persuasion, communication, it all comes down to asking questions. Now, I know it seems a bit lame, but bear with me here for a second while I explain this. Now, this came to me a couple of years ago, even though it seems so obvious. I completed a sales training, 3 or 4 days it was. At the same time, I was reading a book by Ryan Levesque called Ask. Now, this guy managed to pad out a whole book, probably 250 pages, about why it's important to ask questions. But without questions, you will never really know. Now, the reason why I'm highlighting this is as humans, we, as I talk about so much, we have our biases that fast track our way through life. We assume, we concoct, we create, we fabricate so much of our experience. Because we try to make sense of communication, interaction, whatever it may be. But actually, when you're in a communication, a dialogue with someone, stop trying to fast track and piece together. Ask questions. And the quality of questions that you ask will define your experience and your result. So from a communication angle, from a rapport angle, from an influence angle, persuasive angle, sales angle, communication with a partner, a loved one, at work, it's all about asking questions. Stop being so clever and thinking you know it all, because you probably don't. And the answer you need is in your next question. So even though you will ask questions, start to think and get more curious of how you can stop assuming and you can ask another question with anyone in any situation. So as I've said, if it's with your children and they say something, don't just take that for gospel. Ask them what they mean by that. What else you've missed by that. Now, I've put a bit of a framework together, and it's something that I think I heard back 7 or 8 years ago. I might have just made it up in my mind, but the framework I like to use to get curious, because that's what it's all about, get curious and ask more questions, is TED, T-E-D. And TED, in my mind, is this big guy in a white t-shirt with black rimmed glasses, and TED asks a lot of questions. Now, he's quite a calm, slow-spoken guy, nothing like me. But he asks all the right questions and he's very interested. And TED, T-E-D, stands for Tell, Explain, Describe. So when someone tells you that the moon's made out of blue cheese, rather than laugh them off because you know better, you can say, tell me a bit more about that. And then they'll go off on one. And they may actually tell you exactly what leads them to that knowledge or that belief. So explain to me how you discovered that the moon was made out of blue cheese. Describe to me what that's like when you found out about that. See, tell, explain, describe gives you a framework that allows you to dive in deeply, very simply. Just think about that. In my mind is the big guy with the white t-shirt with the black rimmed glasses who's very interested and curious about everything. T-E-D, TED, tell, explain, describe. Tell me about what you think of this video so far. Explain to me how you're going to adopt this tell, explain, describe model every single day. Describe to me what you think that will be like. Simple, easy, give it a go. And when you're done with asking, ask again. You're not going to become that really annoying person that just keeps asking someone questions. But why? You're not going to be that person, trust me. But the idea is to really gain clarity. So let's look at this in a work context, and you've done your asking, you've done your tell, explain, describe. You need to summarize, or it can help to summarize. So, just so I understand and make sure we're on the same picture here, you want me to run the report for XYZ company, you need me to add in the sales figures, and you want me to document this and put it in a folder so that we can deliver it on Wednesday. Is that right? See, this gives the recipient, the other person, two things. Firstly, it lets them know that you fully understood the brief. And secondly, it gives them an opportunity to say, one more thing that needs to go in there before you go. See, it adds, it embellishes, it gives you opportunity to expand upon what you've already agreed, what you've already discussed. See, questions really are the answer. So start to use them more. Okay, and just to caveat this, I know you already do ask questions, so what is the big deal? The big deal is just this. When you ask someone a question, let's say you ask them a question about their favourite holiday, for example, on a Monday. If you were to ask them again on a Wednesday, chances are you'll get more detail from them. You'll get a different answer. Let's look at this from a work context or an education perspective. Let's say you're learning about psychology or influence or NLP or whatever it might be, and you ask someone can you run me through that process of how that works? If you were to ask them again 2, 3, 4, 5 months later, you would definitely get a different answer. Now, this builds your knowledge base. This builds your understanding. This builds depth and breadth into what you know. So just accepting an answer for what it is gives you one piece. Asking again, of course, at the right time, because you don't want to be that pain in the backside, keeps asking why. But asking at the right time will build depth and breadth and knowledge. So, get asking more questions. Okay, so time to start asking some more questions in your life. How are you going to do it? When are you going to start? Who are you going to start with? Not sure? Well, see, the thing is, you're not going to learn this stuff simply by watching, listening, reading. The only way you're going to learn it is by implementing, by experience. So, pop over to mikesweet.co.uk/sign up, put your details in the sign up box, and every single week you'll be sent a very simple task and a practical way for you to implement this psychology and NLP that we talk about. Because the only way to really absorb it and to integrate it is to do it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do like, please do share, and please do comment. I'll get back to every response. And you can also find me on social media at Mike C. Sweet on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So let's get connected. Speak soon. Bye for now.